to another episode of The Flank. Today we got an emergency flank. We haven't had one of these in a very, very long time. We got Patrick Price, aka the Slayer or the Joker. We got Ben J. Nassim, and of course we got Chris Duarte Parasite. What's going on, gentlemen? A lot of crazy news today.
Listen, Tom, you know I'm at my parents' house. That's how we have nice, cute baby photos. Every time I come here, I show this photo, but you know, we got photos like this.
Look at little Ben J. Look at little Ben J.
My brother, yeah.
That's so nice. I took the same photos of my brother when I was a kid, bro. Same shit.
Yeah, listen,
dude.
Tom, you know, we finessed to get here. I hopped on a standby flight to get in earlier so we can do the show, and yeah, let's talk about.
Yeah, no, I know, you know, we got a lot of drama today. Well, first and foremost, Chris, Slayer, how you guys doing, man? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just another day. I've been streaming, you know, playing 8s and stuff like that. I'm actually going to be competing in challengers again for some fun and hopefully, you know, help some teams out and, you know, but just going to have some fun playing challengers. So
yes,
that's
sir.
cool.
That's fire, Chris. You were doing your thing at the event as well, so it's cool to see you fucking getting in there. You know what I'm talking about? And we got Slayer. Man. What's going on, Slayer? What's going on with you?
Listen, I got 3 words. 4 actually. I told you so.
That's your that's your 3 words? I told you so? Slayer.
Listen, I called this from a mile away.
That's 4 words, by the way.
I mean, you could just say told you so. That's why I said 4 if you want to say
yeah, it is 4 words. That is 4 words, man. No way, Slayer.
Listen, at the end of the day, early, Tom, early. And I think that should be the kind of the story of the show is that early. It's never wrong.
Yeah, listen, let's get right into it. Those of you who don't know, OpTic Texas, a little bit of intel dropping on the timeline today was leaving a lot of people shocked. A lot of people with their jaws dropped. Intel, the rumor is that Arcitys and Pred will be joining OpTic Texas for Dashy and Illy. Some people were like, maybe it's just a rumor, it's not happening, but Illy's been
it's happening.
It's happening. Dashy, he tweeted something. He also
is the Pred thing 100p? Like, do we?
No. So the Pred thing ain't 100p yet, and I'll tell you why. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But I'm saying right now, as of right now, it's pretty obvious that OpTic is trying to get other players right now, and Pred is on their list. But it seems like Dashy and Illy are already looking elsewhere based off their tweets and based off, you know, even Dashy taking OpTic out of his name, I think was a big tell as well. I don't think he would have done that.
Could you do me a favor?
Of course, Mr. Slay.
Could you go to my Twitter? This isn't a self promo or anything, but go to my Twitter.
Okay.
It's the last video that I tweeted. Not the evil laugh. The video right under that on December 19th. This is from a flank back on October 11th, I believe. I just want us to watch this really quick.
All right, let's tune in.
It's a good watch. I agree with Pat.
Let's tune in to the Slay's tweet.
In my mind, they're like, damn,
no,
like,
I mean,
we could
it
get
happened to
somebody
me.
better.
I mean,
I
legitimately,
think...
you're talking to someone who was
I know.
legitimately happening. So,
I know.
I'm also been around enough to know, like, I mean, I'm not going to be weird. I'm not going to.
But
I
think it's still going to affect these guys going forward this year.
I don't know if it's going to affect them as much as you think, but I mean, it's bro, they probably... Bro, champs went to shit. They got into a huge argument, maybe some emotions flared out. They made a decision. They regretted it. They pulled it back, and they probably talked about it. And they're just going into it on a way to go, OpTic. I look like a moron. It's late.
And as soon as they get Neslo'd by Florida at the first event, bro, it's all coming back.
Well, that's the main concern is they have to... No, but
right
there, I was about to say, they have to start out hot or they're going to end up changing it. Why'd you cut that out, Slay? Why'd you cut that out?
I just wanted to get the part out where
I look like a moron.
Where I said, as soon as they get Neslo'd by Florida at the first event, which just happened, like it was wrote all along, Tom. I was writing the story for you all along.
You were writing it, Slay. You were writing it.
This motherfucker don't miss.
As soon as it happens.
Nah, he's fucking good.
Not even the day we get back. The day of, Pat. They blow it up. Because they're blowing it up, Tom.
They're blowing it up. I mean, listen, I look at it as if you're changing half the team, you're blowing it up a little bit. You're blowing up half of it. You're blowing up half of it.
Well, okay.
Keep going.
I don't know why Tom's fire alarm's going off, but I think, first off, pump the brakes a sec. I think there's 2 changes going on here. Change 1 is, you know, the rumored change with Arcitys, which I think I did a video on it yesterday, and I think, you know, as some of the people have kind of reported throughout the day, like that one seems to have legs about it. I think the other change is what's going on with Pred, and I think that one's a little bit more questionable. I was trying to dive in before the show and really get a sense of like the validity of the Pred move, and I think there's some smoke there, but I don't know if there's fire there yet.
Oh, bro!
back,
I don't
I'm
know
back,
if you
I'm
did
back.
that because of
We're good.
Tommy's fire alarm, but that was so good.
That's not intentional. But
I was gonna say there is some smoke there, dude. Tommy had to open up the window.
Yeah, you know, chill
to
out,
let the
bro.
smoke
Fire,
out.
fire, these are fire. Everybody get down. Shit is hitting the fan. Shit is fucking hitting the fan. We gotta
That's a
regain.
win, dude. That's
Let's
a
go
win.
ahead, Ben. Let's regain. Ben, I want to get your thoughts initially. One, if they are to get this team with Arcitys and Pred, if they were to get this, let's just say hypothetically they get this roster, I think it's a very good roster. But what are your thoughts, Ben J. Decime?
I mean, if they go with this 4, I think it kind of solves a couple of issues they have. I think it provides a little bit more leadership. We know what Alec can bring to a team when he's going with the full speed leadership. We've seen, he's won chips in the past doing that. And I like the pace of moving Seth to more of a flex role, and that Shotzi and Pred are going to take routes off of spawn. So we talk about pacing, right? We talk about how they're going to space the map, how they're going to engage situations. It solves that because I think it was a little bit disjointed on their last team. So on paper, if they pull this off, I think that's a big W for OpTic.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think if they can get this roster, great. Not so much because Alec. I think Alec is a good player and all, but I just think Pred is that guy. Pred is
with him and
Pred's
Shotzi
disgusting.
together will be a deadly combo. They'll be hard to track on the map. They'll be very quick.
I think the way the game's been panning out right now with like how Kismet and Hydra, their dynamic, like they're just super aggressive. They got a lot of pace to them. I could see this also working out in their favor.
Slayer, what do you think about the roster if they were to get it?
I think they'd be all right.
You think they'll be all right?
Yeah, look, I mean, we know Pred's a beast, right? I might have, my little bit of questions around Arcitys. I think for the most part, yeah, I think this team will be they'll be solid. They'll be better than the roster they got now. But I think I brought it up on another show. Like part of me just feels like this team is just gonna choke. Like no matter what roster iteration they have, I feel like they're gonna choke this year. I don't know why. It's one of those feelings, Tom.
All that aside, I just think these guys need some fucking passion, bro. And I like what AG brings. AG, we know AG's energy.
Sure.
AG brings a lot of energy, a lot of positivity, and he's a hard worker, man. And I think these guys just need something like that. We've heard stories of, I'm not saying that he is. I'm saying we've heard stories of Brandon being a complacent player as of late. And obviously, these guys have just been having turmoil since last year. These guys just need a change of scenery. They need somebody that's going to rejuvenate the team and kind of just like get people going, bro. Because like, they're just kind of like dead. Like they're just like it seems like there's no personality to that team right now. Like they're, I'm saying. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
They had a rough start. I think the things that happened in
last year.
No, but I think what happened in the offseason, Chris, fucked them up a little bit. Maybe like with all the back and forth with the roster, and then it gets leaked that they're changing. They end up calling it back and going back with the same roster.
Nah, that shouldn't.
No. And it didn't. And I think no. Listen. I swear.
Yeah.
All right. But they had to come out hot. They had to start the season hot, and they didn't. And I think that was like then everything starts coming back to them. I think those same emotions come back, and I think they just said fuck it, let's pull the trigger now. Let's pull the trigger now and just do what we got to do. I personally wasn't sure how early they were gonna do it. I didn't think it was gonna be after Major 1. I thought it was just too early. I didn't think they were gonna be thinking like that. But I was wrong with that. But I think we can all agree that, that might have had something to go with it. I mean, what do you think, Ben? Ben, now you could get the floor, Ben. Now you could get the floor.
I'm going on a little bit of a mini rant here. I'll try and speed up as much as I can.
Okay.
I think I speak for all OpTic fans when I assume they're all tired for a number of years now hearing about how in big moments, this core group of players is going quote in bad practice. They pull up to a key event and they're just not prepared. I think everybody is totally over that in the fan base side. So I agree with you, Chris. Bringing in people like AG and Alec that aren't going to stand for that BS is going to be really important for them if they're making those changes. And I actually disagree with it because, bro, they pub faked the roster change as we've like coined that phrase, I guess, over the course of this stream. Tom, I've been tuning in. They made that fake out over the summer. And I thought that would have been enough of a catalyst for this team to try and make it work. But clearly it didn't. And I think the reason you're hearing about these changes now or rumor changes is because other people on the roster are like, you know what? We're just not going to stick it, and maybe it works down the line, and it works in April. Let's try and get a new roster in and actually do something this year instead of dealing with the same old BS over and over and over.
Would you guys agree with that, Slay and Chris? Would you agree on Benji and Asim with that one?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, bro, as soon as I heard that my teammates wanted to drop me, and I don't give a fuck what the decision is or what the consensus is, and we ended up playing, it's chalked, bro. Like, if you already give me any sense of not wanting to be on the same team as me, like, I'm checked. I don't give a fuck if I'm signed to a contract. Like, that's just me as a player. I don't know about you.
Unless they came out and did some crazy. Unless they came out and just fried the first event. I think.
Yeah,
it
exactly. Like, if we came out and we were good, right, we'll get over it. But if we're struggling, if people are still having the same issues with complaints, like if we basically said, yo, we want to get rid of you two, and there was clear fucking reasons why, because I'm sure they had a discussion in terms of like why they each other had these feelings, unless they didn't, which I think would be stupid.
They wouldn't be thinking about
a
change if they didn't have
exactly. And if you don't come out and fix those issues that I had a fucking problem with, and we're still not good, I'm pissed. I'm done. Like, there's no point.
The only thing I worry about now, and this is kind of what I wanted to get into next, is it might be too late now to get somebody like this. I just don't know if they're going to be able to approach Seattle and poach him. And Ben, I want to let you have the floor, because I'm not saying it's impossible, because OpTic definitely can buy him out and definitely poach him from Seattle. But do you think Seattle's just going to do that? Do you think they're going to sell him? Which, I mean, if it's for a good chunk of change, they might. It depends what it is.
If it's for absolute racks,
especially because
100%.
I'm pretty sure he's on a 1+1 right now, and this is his second year, which would make him a free agent at the end of the year. So Seattle might just want to make a buck on him at this point, because he might leave at the end. He has the option to leave at the end of the year. He doesn't have to stay. He can do whatever he wants. He has all the power.
Weirdly enough, with the Pred situation, the economics probably get better for OpTic as they get closer to the end of his deal, right? Like, because they have because Seattle's got less and less leverage because he doesn't have a full year at that point, so they can't ask for a full value of whatever the year of his contract is or whatever what's going on with Tom's smoke alarm. So that's that piece of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they don't want him later. They want him now. They got Scump on his last year. They're trying to make the best of the situation.
They're gonna if they want him, they're gonna have to pay up because
they are gonna pay racks for this guy.
I've heard his buyout is quite.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pay a lot for sure.
And if Seattle gives him up for anything less, they are fucking faded.
Yeah,
this guy's actually no bullshit. If every single team in the league needed a sub, like for whatever reason, this guy would be the most coveted player of all time.
Well, no, they're not faded. No, if they get a good buck for him though, Chris, they're not faded. Especially because he's a free agent at the end of the year and he could walk for free. Like, if they can make a buck on him now, you'll do it now.
Yeah, they need.
But it has to be for. I mean, it has to be for something worth it. And I don't even know how the rules work. Ben, wasn't there a clause where the buyout is the yearly salary, or was that just like in the initial contract?
Yeah, no, that's no.
That's a no? Okay.
That was a year zero.
Regardless, Tom, I think that OpTic is desperate, bro. Like, they need this guy on their team if they want. Like, I think Alex a great pickup, but like, they need to solve their SMG issue, because as much as Seth is pretty good with a sub, I think he's going to bring a lot more value as an AR on their team. Their biggest issue, and so why they've struggled the last couple years, is because they cannot consistently as a team keep up with the pace that all these other teams are playing at. Period. Like, on a consistent basis.
I'm curious.
They need this guy on their team if they want to have a chance of winning.
Chris, you want to pick up first, Pat? Chris,
yeah, go ahead.
Do you agree with this ethos that some people in the community have? Do you need like an unquote guy that always takes long routes in your team, or are you a guy that believes like everyone should do everything? Should do everything. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone should do everything. The problem is with Call of Duty players is like, there's just people that are just not as good at realizing certain situations. There's a lot of one-dimensional like just players in the league. I was telling, like, even at the core level, I was talking to a couple of amateur people that I'm friends with. We were spitballing about Call of Duty in general. The reason what separates pro teams from am teams is that every single person could take an information and formulate a play and like take over communications in a certain role. And like, I think even at the pro level, a lot of people struggle with that, to the point where that's like what differs a really good team from an average team. And it goes so much further than that, basically.
And I'll let you go next, Pat, but this is my problem with OpTic, because going back and watching the VODs from, last weekend, the only person really taking long routes on the team is Shotzi. Going back and watching their VODs from the end of last season, the only one taking long routes off of spawns is Shotzi. And the problem is if you break your team rules, you're screwing up all of your timing. So that's why I really like picking up a Pred type player, because he's also someone that when he's the right person to come off a spawn and hit that route, no hesitation, he's hitting that, and you're going to get the best timing that way. Go ahead, Pat.
Listen, I think Pred's in a great position right here to negotiate himself a nice 3-year deal with Seattle. And I think he's in an even better position to, if he doesn't already have it, take absolute full control of this roster. And I think he should do that. I personally think he should. I think he's in a position right now where he could say, look, I want Dante, but let me get rid of Lamar. Let me get rid of Mac. And obviously we see teams are in turmoil right now. There's no reason Seattle Surge cannot be a main player in this roster mania and build a team that I think would be even better than that OpTic roster. That would be my personal opinion.
That's also a pretty good
Slay,
take.
don't you think
That was a fucking terrible take.
there's other benefits to being on there's other benefits to being on OpTic though, Slay,
exactly.
you know? There's other benefits to that for him personally and his brand and as a player and the players he's going to be playing with, you know?
If he's a winner, he does what I just said.
Wait, I don't think that's a bad take at all, Zinni. I think he's at a point. He's at a point right now where he can leverage both situations in his favor. Like he can basically secure himself a spot on the Seattle team and kind of like take over in terms of like who he wants to play with if he wants to stay on that team. Or he could join, or he can potentially join OpTic if that goes through and secure himself a spot for the a long time, because we know Skrapz going to be gone.
Do you take a little bit of a pay cut to go to OpTic? Like probably. He'll still get a good deal.
If you
it's up to what he wants to do. It's what he wants to do.
Hold on. If you are Pred, probably the most talked about SMG player in the league right now, you absolutely do not sign a 3-year contract right now.
Agreed.
If it's over $1 million, why not?
Well, I mean,
because it's not going to go anywhere. The same 3-year deal that they'd offer him right now is still going to be there in 6 months.
It's not a fully guaranteed deal. It doesn't even matter.
If you're a Pred, you sign nothing. First and foremost,
depends what they offer him. That's true.
He would have to re-sign with OpTic, though.
Okay. First and foremost, hypothetically, OpTic wants him, and the face of OpTic is retiring. Pred will want to go to OpTic, and him staying at Seattle and building whatever squad you think he could build is not worth that offer.
I think he could be a better team on that Seattle team if they do what I said.
It depends on what this man's priorities are. Like you said, if he's trying to leverage a situation where if he likes his team, if he likes the majority of his team,
hold on.
And
to
he's
act
having
like a roster with Pred,
I was going to say the same thing. That's a good roster.
To act like a roster with Pred, Shotzi, and Scump can't compete for titles. Listen, bro, I'm sorry.
Who said that?
Hold on. Listen. Pat's saying he could take control of Seattle and build a roster. That's a very good team right there. And Call of Duty is a game where it's like, it's very hard in general to build a consistent winning team. Otherwise,
hold on. We're acting like
every single event.
We never said it wasn't a good team. We said if he likes playing with his current team and he wants to stick with them or the majority of it, he can leverage himself a better deal there or a better situation there, or he can take the other one. He has options. There's not one option this guy takes.
A roster of Shotzi, Scump, Dashy, and Illy isn't just as good. Like let's be clear here. Like those guys are still stars. Let's not act like just because we get rid of those two guys,
I agree with you.
this is going to make this team that much better. I truly believe that he could have a better roster on Seattle because I think Sib is a better player than Alec by a fucking mile and a half. I think they could get I really do think they could get somebody in replace of just those two guys, Lamar and Mac. That would be a much better roster than this OpTic team.
The only thing, Pat, I want to push back on, and I want to stop the combo around this now on this episode, because if I ever hear it again, I'm gonna lose full. Bro, long-term deals for players aren't as good as y'all think they are. They're not. This isn't like a Carlos Correa, fucking Aaron Judge situation where you sign a deal and it's fully guaranteed for 12 years, 11 years, whatever. Yep. You sign a 3-year deal and you're Pred. By default in that contract, there's a 60-day out. Right, it is not a fully guaranteed contract.
Pred's not getting dropped. Pred's not getting dropped. Let's stop acting like Pred would get dropped.
I get that, but it's also like
Pred would have to break his hand.
Paid the length of that contract.
Which could happen. And obviously, I would never want it to happen. But it's just what Ben's trying to say. It's not a 3-year guarantee.
Yo,
It's not.
chill. One at a time.
Okay, listen.
Every player is playing that.
3-year contracts do not favor players with high stock. Players right now, I'll just start naming them. Let's like Hydra, Pred. They don't really. The orgs gain everything from getting those guys on a 3-year contract.
Facts.
If you have that type of high stock, ideally you want a 1-year contract every single year. That way you can just keep running up the market every single year as a free agent.
Bro,
A 3-year
think about it this way.
contract for a star player is completely one-sided to the organization. Makes no sense
I would say-
for any high-stock player to
I
start.
actually
I would say
disagree. I
2-year
actually disagree.
contract is the best, but go
I
ahead.
actually disagree.
Yeah.
If the money is right, there's no reason it's not favorable for the player.
If they get a 2-year guarantee, if they get a 2-year guarantee, maybe. If it's just a 1-year guarantee,
Bro,
no one signed
okay.
a guaranteed contract, bro. Like no
But-
orgs anymore after what happened in year 1 with speaking of Seattle, the fiasco with that roster.
Actual
Bro,
looted.
no,
hold
no
on,
one-
hold
none
on,
of
hold
these
on, no,
orgs
hold
are
on.
offering fully
We
guaranteed
literally
contracts.
have New York forfeiting to host their own major because they're paying Hydra so much. Let's not act like teams are not gonna fork up the money for a superstar player.
Where are you getting that from?
What do you mean? They're paying this guy. They're paying this guy out the wazoo.
And you assume you're just making that connection out of what?
Yeah. No one backs out of one of the most successful majors of last year. Listen, bro.
You're
At the
just
end of the
making shit
day,
up. What?
no. Listen. At the end of the day, bro, I think Pred's in a great position to get an amazing contract, but to get a fat stack of money. I think it doesn't matter where he goes at this point in time. I think he can get a fuck ton of money. And yeah, if the money is right, there's no downside to signing a long-term deal. A player like Pred is not getting dropped.
But what's
He's
the-
not.
yeah, I mean, Slay, listen.
disagree.
Every team is going to pay out the lifetime of that deal.
Yes,
they
like
don't want to lose a player
if it
like
was
Pred.
fully guaranteed, which I don't think is gonna happen. It could happen. I'm not gonna sit here and say it won't because it could
Never
happen.
happening ever again.
But I just don't see him getting a fully guaranteed contract.
Unless this guy's getting
And
360
that's what I was
turned
trying to
on.
say. What Ben was saying, he was like, even if he signs a 3-year, like after the first year, anything can happen. Or if he gets
Even in the-
injured,
even in the first year, they could just get out in 2
even
months.
if he gets injured or something happens, which obviously I would never wish any of that on any player. Like hopefully that never happens. But I'm just saying that's the whole point of security, right? Like having a guaranteed contract is
No,
having
it's not
security.
even injury, bro. Like
It could be
players
anything,
have-
but I'm just giving an
players have to
example.
realize, the because of their, and we can sit here and talk about.
It's just not
credit unions and all
guaranteed.
that,
It's not.
The players don't have as many levers to get like amazing deals. And we can argue for a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal is better from a negotiating perspective. But my original point was just that like the 3-year deal is like really unfavorable to players because you get that unquote guarantee, but they can just pay you 2 months and you're done.
Yeah, I mean they could potentially, but if he does get a crazy guaranteed like 3-year, well that's different, like then and it also depends like how much it is, like what the numbers are, because Slayer, realistically, what would be your number if you were AG? What would be your number?
A 3-year deal?
A 3-year deal, let's say 2 years guaranteed. 3 years guaranteed is not gonna happen, bro. Like Slay, can we agree on that at least?
If I'm him, I would do 2 mil over 3
3-year
years.
3-year guarantee is just not happening. It's just not gonna happen. But what do you
Listen,
think, Pat?
Like I said, if I was the Seattle Surge general manager, Tom, I'd sign Pred to a 3-year guaranteed deal. I'd insure his hands. I do it all.
Lloyd's of London situation here, ensuring hands.
Yeah, I'm insuring his hands, and I'm running the league with Sib and Pred and getting 2 guys that they can compete with, and we're winning every tournament. Period. We're beating OpTic every event. We're beating FaZe, beating New York. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening with AG. I mean, there's a lot of other commotion going on that we got to talk about, especially even the Seattle Surge roster, because if Pred were to go to OpTic, now we got to talk about that roster, because I'm hearing some rumors there.
There's no one that can replace Pred to keep that team at the same level they're at right now. There's
No
not
one.
a single player that can get right now.
And that is why Pred is in a position to literally
if Seattle loses
ask for
Pred,
anything he wants.
Seattle might as well back out of the league. No bullshit.
Damn, you think? Well, what if they could, you don't think they could get like other good players? I mean,
No.
Pred is
Nah.
you can't replace
No,
Pred.
no,
Like that's gonna be
I mean,
hard.
they can
but
get a solid player. I'm not saying they're going to pick up a
instantly
shitter.
go to a non-contender. Instantly.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say non-contender. but
Non-contender. They,
they
won't
go
win another
from
time.
they
Won't
go
win
from
another
a
event.
consistent contender to a question mark.
No. They go to a non-contender. They go to like the 8 through 12 range. They're hanging out with LAG every event on Fridays, Boston Breach, London, shit like that. They're hanging out. They're hopping on the couch on Thursday and Friday on the flank,
You're fucking weird.
and we're chilling.
Oh, that's good.
Bro, they
Want to
I
be?
will
But if they want to
say-
be deep in the tournament on a Sunday, you do what I said.
I will say, without Pred, Mac and Accuracy, assuming they're still on the team, are gonna have to step up massively because Pred and Sib were literally damn near killing everyone.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing that the rumor is Wardy and Jodis Eves. That's the rumor.
What?
Yo, see you on the flank couch on Thursday night,
what,
my
Seattle?
brothers.
Yeah, Seattle.
saying Seattle?
Ben, right? Isn't that the
Why would
rumor?
y'all go to Seattle?
Both or just one?
I'm just saying that's the rumor. No, not just one.
Okay,
It's just one.
Okay, listen, there are a lot of rumors. I want
There is a
everybody to be
lot of
very-
rumors. There's a lot
I
of
want
rumors.
everybody to be very cautious. Like, I think what's going on here is that both the LAG, Seattle, and OpTic situations are like very fluid. So there's a lot of names being thrown around whilst like buyouts are being negotiated and people are trying to fill replacements. So I urge extreme caution because like we're in like the very fluid point of this process and like it changes almost every 20 or 30 minutes sometimes depending on the time of day. So just everybody like take a step back.
I mean,
for
we
a
could,
sec.
yeah, no, I agree. But Ben, we can say the same thing about AG, right? The way I look at it is Dashy and Ilya are already going somewhere else. They're already going somewhere else. That's already done deal.
Are they going somewhere else?
They're gonna replace him one way or another. If they can't get AG, they're gonna
saying
probably.
it's a done deal. Or like I'm saying, is it 100%
I'm
they're
saying
going
if
somewhere
they,
else?
I'm saying if they don't get AG, they're gonna get somebody else.
but
Unless they're pump faking again. Unless they pump fake again.
If they
it's not-
don't get AG, they are going to dip. They have to dip into challengers.
Good lord.
OpTic
My
is not
bad,
dipping into
Sethy.
challengers, bro.
My
If that's
bad,
not
Sethy.
happening, then I don't know who else they can get.
Listen, hey, if OpTic want to give up Brucey, bro, if I'm Seattle, give me Bruce all day of the week. Step number one. Later, Lamar. What's up, Bruce?
Would you
How
do a
doing?
trade? Would you do a trade at that
OpTic's
point?
not gonna want Lamar, so probably not. But if
Does
Bruce is on
Seattle
the
get
market, but if
Does
Bruce
Seattle really get better with Bruce though? Like
They could get worse.
better.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if they necessarily
Do they
better with Bruce.
get better?
They could get worse.
I mean, Lamar, bro.
They could get worse.
I'm sorry, but Lamar brings a lot to a team than just like obviously he's not the biggest slayer on the team. He's not like the type of guy to go out and get a bunch of kills, but he does a lot for that team.
Bro, we need to get over this obsession that adding more kills to a team makes them better by default because that's just not true.
Yeah, no, I don't
never
think.
know.
Yeah, like I want.
Slay, I'm serious,
Listen,
bro.
bro.
I'm gonna sit here patented it 100% makes them better. I
Whoa.
Bro,
agree.
we
It
see so
depends-
many
it
talented
depends
players not
what-
getting good
Bro,
placings
it
because they don't know how to play the
depends.
game. They don't play the
It
game the right
depends
way.
what Dashy they're getting too. Like
Exactly,
it's like,
facts.
bro, it's not like this guy's just like this
I
guy's
get
like
rid of
Black
Lamar
Ops 4
and
Dashy.
Mac.
There's a world where this guy's still
Rid of
like
Lamar-
he's
hold on,
still
no.
not.
I get
not
rid of
putting the
Lamar
effort.
and Mac, and I wouldn't get Bruce and Illy, but I
think
would
Mac
get
is
Bruce
that
and
team's
someone else.
unsung hero. I think Mac is like probably the most
But
underrated player in
the
the
problem
league.
with Mac is like when he's an X factor, right? He has to be on to be like that unsung hero. When he's not on, it's just like he's another dude.
How much of that inconsistency is him, and how much of that is because he's definitely trying to make sure that Dante and Pred are getting set up in the positions that they want to go to in the map. And as you know, you guys know, when
Ah.
players that have to extreme gap fill, it's not easy in Call of Duty.
Well, I mean, to be fair, somebody at Dashy's level should be able to do it. He's one event. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean he should, but
He should 100% be able to do it. But
that's
are
like
they
saying
good at
everyone
mesh?
should be. That's like saying everyone should be able to call out in gunfights, but that's just not a thing.
I just think. I think
What?
Lamar brings like a different level of like accountability to like that young team. Like I feel like with like those young guys and like they're pretty like amped personalities, right? Like they can get sort of crazy, and I feel like he keeps them grounded. So I don't know. A lot of people will hate
Yeah,
on
that,
Lamar
that,
because
that
a
helps.
lot of
That
people
helps when you're
hate-
down too.
a lot of people will hate on like sometimes he's not going to have the best stats, and
I think
like,
if
like that guy is always in the hill, and like I will defend the fact that like he does
doesn't
not
have
get
to
his
get
flowers.
kills.
He
Pred
doesn't
and
get
Dante
flowers
get
for
him.
what he does for that
Bro,
team.
no one is
Everybody
hating-
is so caught
that
up.
attitude also helps when you got to come back from behind. You make that roster better. You don't ever got to come back from behind. You're in the driver's seat 24/7.
I think there's a world if Lamar gets dropped off this team that I don't even know if he'd get on another team. On top of that, I feel like if
Which
if
is
they try
which is
to
insane because the guy just placed second at the
Yeah.
first major of the year, and the fact that like that can even come out of someone's mouth is pretty fucking.
I think
well,
Lamar
I mean,
could get
it's
on
not-
a few
I'm not-
teams. I think Lamar could get on LAG. I think he could get on Boston. I think he could get on London. I think he could get on Florida.
You're saying
I think there's a
fans
lot
need
of
to
teams
too.
that.
I mean,
Huh?
the reason
named
being
4
is
teams.
it's
I
hard to
disagree
get
with one of those, but
it's hard to get
Thanks,
moved
Pat.
around. It's
I think
hard to get
Lamar
moved around.
would improve a lot of teams. What do you mean?
I think it's hard to get moved around as an
I
AR in
put
general.
Lamar on Paris. Lamar can make it on half the league.
Wait, you
Also,
throw-
whatever,
you throw
Vegas.
Player Donnie for
I
Lamar, is
wonder.
that what
I
you're
wonder. I wonder if there's a world where Lamar moves
like I
to
said,
coaching.
Lamar could get on 5 teams in the league right
I think
now if he
Lamar-
got dropped
I think
off Seattle.
Lamar
Bro,
Lawrence
why the
would
fuck are we
definitely-
talking about Lamar coaching?
Yeah,
he just
well,
played
he
second.
just got
Everybody,
second place.
everybody
Nah,
knows
y'all-
the
nah,
game.
y'all
It doesn't
disrespecting-
matter.
y'all
Wait,
disrespecting for
wants to
sure, bro.
No. If there's a
He's
world where
not
this guy
coaching, bro.
doesn't get on a team, what is he gonna do? Go back to challengers?
Nah,
Bro,
but
I'm saying,
I
if
didn't
there
even
is
be-
a world,
It shouldn't
no
even be a
one's
talk right
hating.
now.
I'm asking a question, bro.
Well, if he doesn't get
Lamar-
on, if he doesn't get
Lamar
on a
could get
team,
on
that's
5
that's a
rosters
way.
in the
I mean,
league.
Chris, if it gets to the point he doesn't get on a team, well, that's a whole different conversation. At that point, yeah, he's gonna have to do something else. He's gonna have to either play challengers or be a coach. Or that's everybody. That's just like But
I
as a-
just named 5 teams that he could get on. Why are we even talking about this?
I mean, that's assuming those teams want to play with him.
I mean,
Bro, Lamar would make
we'll see.
those 5 teams better. Those teams are all pretty ass. They're like 8 through 12.
I mean, we'll see what happens with the surge, but I think you're disrespecting Mac a lot. Sly, I'm gonna be honest. You disrespecting my man's Mac.
Bro, but I hate that because I feel like when you say that, it's like, yo, you're disrespecting Mac, and then it's like,
I don't think you're giving him
When-
enough
when
credit
he's-
on what he just
when
did
he's
this weekend.
ass.
He,
And
they
then when he
just
has,
got
like, a
top
good
2. He just
series-
fried. He was fucking piecing.
let's be honest, bro. That was a Sib and Pred show from the day one.
Bro, Mac was going crazy over the
Yeah,
weekend. What are you
wait,
talking
wait,
about?
wait.
What are you
He had some
talking
good
about?
series.
No. Mac was
He had
frying.
some good
Mac
He was
series.
frying,
fucking
bro, and I don't care.
dude.
Watch him play. Like he's one of those players as well. That's just selfless. Like he doesn't
Mac
care.
plays good, if Mac plays good on that Seattle roster, they make runs in tournaments. When he's struggling, they get smoked.
Yeah, bro. Let's not act like Seattle hasn't went from like 3rd to 12th, 3rd to 12th, 3rd to 12th, 3rd to 12th. Bro, I'm sorry. I don't care how good you can be. If you aren't that good all the time, it doesn't mean anything to me. I would rather
Mac is
have
just
an
their X factor,
above
bro.
average player 24/7 than an average or an ass player and a godlike
Right,
player
but not
on
everybody.
different days.
But Slate, not everybody can be first, and you gotta pack a punch. You gotta get an upgrade for Mac.
You gotta pack a punch, yes.
Right,
If
and
you can pack a punch, you gotta pack a punch.
Right, but
I'm
I
not
don't-
saying
you-
drop Mac for just anybody. I'm saying if you can make an
who,
improvement,
though? For
which
who?
I see a lot of teams blowing it up right now, I think you entertain it. That's all I'm saying.
Listen,
The
all
packet
I'm
punch, I'll
saying-
understand it. I'll understand it. So if they are upgrading, that's different. But I just think it's hard to find an upgrade over Mac. I think you're undervaluing
Bro,
what he brings to the table. I really
I'll
do.
keep circling back to this with Seattle. Like I know stage 4, like they were bad at respawn as well, but like the splits they were bad last year were when they were bad in search. Like the individual playing was like sometimes in stage 4, for example, mixed in respawn, but like when they are on S&D, they're very good. When they're not on S&D, that's when they end up being like really poor in terms of their placings. And so I think that's the bigger issue than is Mac frying or not frying. Because when I watch Mac on the map, like the way that they set up their team is to get Dante and Pred in those positions to make plays, and Mac and Lamar are support behind that. So
Wait, you're
it's
not even paying attention though, Ben. Like, yeah, of course, their S&D is literally a reason why these guys literally can make runs in tournaments. But I'm talking about their consistency in respawn, and the reason why this team is so hard to play against in the first place isn't because they can sometimes we'll take a search. It's because their respawn is absurdly good, and the only time that these guys are dominant and actually dominant in fucking respawn is when Mac is playing well. If Sib and Pred are playing well, we know they're going to be a good respawn team. But when they are a dominant respawn team, that's when you see Mac contributing as well. That is literally when they make runs in tournaments. It's not because of their search and destroy. If these guys can take a search and destroy, great. But I don't give a fuck about them taking S&D.
That's the thing. There's maps, Chris. There's maps that they're winning where Mac is playing well, and maybe Pred and Dante aren't. There's maps like that.
I know, Tom, but I'm saying when they are dominant, like bro, they're when they're making runs in tournaments, these guys really look like the best hardpoint team in the game.
I mean, I agree. If everybody's frying,
well.
Chris, if everybody's frying, they're gonna dominate.
When Mac is not playing good, we already know they suck at search, and I honestly don't see a world where these guys ever just based on their team comp get drastically better at S&D, right? So we just need their key to success is them being consistent in respawns, and when Pred and Sib are doing it, they're a good respawn team. They'll just always be a good respawn team based on their team. But when they make runs in tournaments, Mac is fucking pissing. Look at the tournament they won. Mac arguably was up there for a contender of MVP. This tournament, Mac was also arguably in that conversation with the other two. Like when he's playing good, that's when these guys win or make runs.
But that's you're making my point. You're saying how he turns up. You're saying how he could be dominant. You're saying how he could turn up and win event. Bro, no player is consistently putting on MVP performances at every event.
I mean he's not, but
but
Mac has thrown a lot of stinkers up too, bro. Like it's not like he's just like playing average and like his teammates are also
as
playing
well
good.
as everybody else in the league. I mean, listen, granted, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to sit here and say that Mac is the most consistent player.
That's what I'm talking about, Ben. Like he's had some splits where he has looked abysmal. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a great player. I'm on your side here, but like his consistency factor for this team to have long-term success needs to be a lot better, bro. Because it's pretty weird. It's pretty up and down.
Realistically, it comes down to who they can get anyway, right, Chris? Like realistically, at the end of the day, it just comes down to who's on the table at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm not saying to replace him.
Anybody can be droppable at the end of the day, depending on who's on the table and if you could pack a punch and upgrade. I don't know. Like it depends who it is.
Yeah, I'm never saying to drop him. I think he's a great player. I'm on your side here, but I'm saying that if he doesn't up his consistency factor for this team, regardless of who's on their roster, he's not safe. Period.
Yeah, we'll see what happens to Seattle Surge. I mean, like I said, anything can happen with AG. He might not even be able to go there. And if he can't go there, there shouldn't be any bad blood between Seattle and Pred. I feel like that's an offer that everybody would obviously entertain. But other than that, we'll see. Some of these changes might not even happen.
Shit down with the quickness, Tom.
Yeah, Slay, I know. We got your opinions on what you think about.
You're like King OpTic hater, Pat. Like,
nah, it's just, bro. I don't like the whole like join a team. I'd rather beat the team. Like, you want me? Good. I'm gonna beat your ass even worse next event. I'm gonna make you wish you had me.
Pat's one of a kind, even though he is not. Pred, you could argue that if Pred's getting this real OpTic offer.
Wait, we got a special guest in the building. We got Hastro joining us on the flank. Take the force, Stro. Welcome to the flank, Hastro.
Yeah, coming in from the 15,000 square foot in the heart of downtown Dallas. Obviously, we're about to pay $2 million for Pred. Bring him over here to Dallas, Texas, in our state-of-the-art 15,000 square foot facility in the heart of downtown Dallas.
Right.
Obviously, we previously set the buyout record with Shotzi. Looking to top that with AG.
Thank you, everybody. Hey, Mike, thank you so much for joining the show. Seriously, I really appreciate it, man. It's always a pleasure having you on. It's always a pleasure. But go ahead, Ben, to what you were saying. It's always nice hearing from Hastro. It's always nice.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, why I kind of disagree with Pat is, like, Pred's getting this real OpTic offer. If you think about it, like, it's gonna be him and basically their team to build for a number of years until whatever happens. And like, I feel like that's a tough opportunity to turn down, because you're never going to have a recruiting issue with that squad. Like, yeah, you may not build winners, but like the next offseason, you can get anyone to go there. Whereas Seattle, I think, is highly contingent on their ability to provide monetary resources to fund the squad. And there's no other extra perks that you would get, say we're going to OpTic. So I see what you're saying, Pat.
Listen, bro, every player wants to be on OpTic, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
no, Zinni, you want to be on OpTic.
No,
well,
hold on.
It depends what's on the table, Tony. It depends what's on the table.
Unless they have the worst roster ever, if you have a good contending roster, every player would want to play on OpTic. Every single player.
Well, anybody's gonna want it, regardless of the org. Anybody would want to go to the most contending roster. I think it helps AG in this
which
case.
I don't think is OpTic right now.
Okay,
I actually think that roster would be filled.
Listen, it's a good roster. My entire point is, like, everybody knows joining OpTic just is a different level when it comes to Call of Duty esports. Like, everything else takes off. Like, everything is amplified. It's not even an argument. Like,
Holy DSG's out of the Zen man tonight.
It's a fact. It gives you a career on top of a career. So I mean, like,
I mean, yeah,
not necessarily, but it's.
I'm not
if
saying
you
you're
take
joining a team on OpTic. I'm saying, like, if you have a good contending team, you choose to be on OpTic.
Listen, no one's gonna
say what you want.
No one's gonna say here's in and say that they do have the biggest.
Then you had more subs than everybody on that OpTic roster except Seth, and you abandoned the city. So what kind of what's the difference?
I'm a competitor, man. I wanted to play.
Okay, and I'm saying if Pred's a competitor and he wants to win, then he should do what's best for him.
Yeah,
if he
but you're
wants to
acting
get
like that
money
roster
and grow
can't
his
win.
stream and focus on, bro, the kid
He's
is
not
like,
saying
the
that.
kid
He's
is,
saying
Why not do all of them?
the kid is 20 years old.
Okay, bro.
Like,
Listen, it's not this black and white, bro. He's gonna get an offer from OpTic. He's gonna have an offer on the table from Seattle, and he's gonna put them both on a table, and he's gonna see what works from him. We'll see what the difference is. OpTic can still give the guy a good number. And it might not be the same number that Seattle's giving him, but it might be a good number. And at that point, you take the little bit of a pay cut if that's the case. You know, you go to the. I will say, I know a lot of people are saying dick suck cheese, but they do bring a lot of different intangibles to the table. Obviously, it's a good place to be, and you're with really good players.
Dick suck cheese.
better-
Look
he
at the
better get
viewership
a-
Like
compared to when they're not
Shotzi
playing.
and
It's a
Scump are
fact.
good players to play with, especially Scump in his final year.
I
You know,
don't think the viewership changed that much, honestly. Like it was kind of the same shit. Bro, it was over 100,000 in every series.
Yeah, but OpTic's still the biggest fan base. You're not gonna sit here and say that.
Yeah, but that's
without a
always
straight
been the
face.
case. When they play, even if they're in the tournament, when they play a match, viewership goes up. When they don't play a match, viewership goes down.
I listen. They're still, in terms of pure Call of Duty, like they're still the biggest fan base. But I do think it's gotten to a point now where there are other franchises that have decent sized fan bases. So it's not as clear cut of like everything is unquote amplified when you go to OpTic, right? You could still get some juice on FaZe, on Thieves. I think who are probably the two other orgs that are biggest in terms of recruiting. So I see that.
I saw hundreds of people on Thursday in OpTic jerseys with a different jersey on Sunday. Like, damn, I need to find a team that can win. Because I'm tired of watching motherfuckers go out day two losing to Florida. That was just what I observed. That's just what I
fake
know about
fans?
you guys.
You found the
no
fake
way they
fans?
Bro,
brought
I was on the floor. Like
No way they
I was
brought the
going
backup
around.
jersey, bro.
No way.
Yeah,
Pat.
I took a picture on Friday with someone in an OpTic jersey, and on a Sunday jersey they had a Florida jersey on.
No,
So like,
shot. Who was it? You remember him?
That
What
was
do
a
you look
handful,
like?
Tom. That was it was a guy about 5'9" maybe. He had some Vans on, some khaki pants,
Slay snitching on him. Go ahead,
blonde
Ben.
hair, bangs.
Ben, what were we gonna say? Go ahead.
No, I mean, look, my final point on this is, yes, he's going to have to make a decision between sticking around with the Seattle project probably for another year, maybe another year after, we'll see, or going to OpTic, and it's probably going to be him and Ant's team after Seth retires in the offseason. But the other part to it too that I just want to like caution everyone is like we still haven't gotten word on like the org pieces, right? We see this all the time in say soccer. We talk about like Fabrizio Romano. How many Fabrizio tweets have I seen? Oh, an org has agreed to personal terms of the player, but they couldn't agree to the actual transfer terms.
A club,
org, whatever. But the point is like I want to caution everybody that like Pred's buyout is very high, and we haven't yet gotten wind that like the OpTic organization is willing to pay for it. So just caution that this one might get to a point where he wants to go there, but they can't figure out the mechanics of how to actually satisfy the demands on the Seattle side.
We talked a lot about OpTic in Seattle, but we're also missing one team. I know these guys might not have the biggest fan base, but Arcitys obviously leaving that team potentially.
Yep.
Where does this leave LA? Where does this leave LAG? Because they have three people that I know are. They have three people on the team that I know our couch has not been a fan of in terms of the LAG project. So what? So
not,
what? do you guys think
maybe
happens
not
there?
a fan of them
I'll show
together
you
as
where
a
it leaves
trio.
them.
Not a,
Yeah,
not,
that's what I meant.
Not
That's
a
what I
fan of them
meant. That's
together.
what I meant.
I like them as
I got
players,
something.
but maybe not
I
together.
had something planned for this, bro.
You got
show you
something
where-
planned for this?
Yeah, I'll show you where it leaves them, bro. I can answer that question with one picture. Bang.
Yep.
That's where it leaves them, bro.
No way, Slay. Why do you say that, Slay? Why do you say that?
Bro, this team just isn't even in contention. Like they would have to either miraculously pick up some challenger fucking unknowns that just come out and have their absolute way with the league.
Their academy team's
But-
pretty fucking good.
But there's no way that the roster they have now is doing anything.
Well, their academy team's good, but also didn't advance to the bracket on the pro side. So swapping the academy.
yeah,
roster
but they
out-
were in a bracket with
mean,
FaZe in Seattle, to be fair to them.
Listen, Alex good, but the other three, I don't know what they were smoking the good stuff in LA to re-sign that trio.
Bro, here's
Like,
the problem with LA.
Whatever it was, they got that gas out in LA.
The Pine Park, Slay.
It must have been the Pine Park.
Bro,
Go ahead,
so
Ben.
like here's the deal with this. Like if Alex leaving, like the position that LAG's in is you've been in the league now, this is your fourth season, and you have basically had a new roster every single year. By a new roster, I mean essentially outside of the trio running it back this year, has been a new roster every year, and you're now probably gonna blow up that trio, so that only lasted you like 2 months. They have no like anchor franchise players that they're building around. And so
What do you mean? They signed Spart to a 3-year deal. They've had him on his their roster every year.
All right. Anyway, they are.
What do you mean anyway? You can't just say something that's objectively wrong and then say anyway.
You're just gonna keep throwing memes out?
Guys, this is a safe space.
All right. Can I finish? Okay. So here's the deal with LAG. Like, I think to be clear, where it leaves LAG, to your point, Chris, is they are a rebuilding team. There is really no path here for them to build like an out-of-the-box 100% top 4 contender. They decide, okay, in this Alex transaction, are we taking either Ender or Dashi or both of them on our roster, and we're building around, our existing talent that we have, the academy team, and going from there? Or are we building in and adding some other challengers players? Like, that's where they need to go to, and it's not going to be a squad that's going to instantly have success. Like, they are, by getting rid of Alec, they're basically restarting the project over again.
I think if no like offense, bro, but are you dreaming? They're not rebuilding. They signed the trio that they had last year. They said run it back. They didn't rebuild anything. They ran it back. They were the worst team in the league and said run it back. That's what they did.
I mean, the trio's clearly not working. They were, for that talent on that team, they were, you could argue, the worst hardpoint team that pulled up to Major 1 last week in terms of all the pro teams.
Well, realistically, if they're gonna make changes, they're probably gonna dip into their academy team. Their academy team looks good. They were putting on a show against some top CDL teams. I know a lot of those guys have been doing well on there. I mean, they have the academy for that reason, to obtain these young guys and challengers that are performing that they can bring up at any time. So they're probably going to dip into the academy. It makes the most sense instead of just going out and trying to buy somebody out, because that's just going to be a lot in their pocket. So we'll see what happens with LAG.
I think if Alec is gone and they can't get like maybe Dashi or something like that on their team, like obviously because of he'll be being let go, I think they just need to put in the whole fucking academy team. If they try to mix and match this like trio that they have with the academy team, I think that'd be a disservice, and that would be disrespectful as fuck to their challenger team. Because if I were them and they're really trying to build something in the long run, because I don't think they're going to be able to like really put in pieces together that are going to make them a top 4 team just with what's available and their resources. I think what they need to do is they need to do what the Boston Project did, what like Zinni's team did. They created a team, and then they made a desirable location for free agents in the offseason if they didn't perform, which the Boston team last year didn't, really perform. They had a decent year, but they didn't they weren't a top team. And they created a desirable location for better players to come in the future. They need to do that with their academy team. They need to have this academy team play. They need to see what they can do. And if, by the end of the season, they're not achieving desirable results, then maybe teams will want to go and play with them in the future and play with some of the stars that are there. Because
can they just make a good all-season move? Like, how
well, that's
hard
what I'm
is
saying.
that?
They need to just hit the reset button with their academy team. They already have a known quantity in their academy team that obviously can put up a fight versus pro teams. So they're not going to have to worry about them just going out there and getting fucking 360 turned on, right? So they go there, they put those guys in, see what they can do, play with that team, and then try to create a desirable environment. Because as of now, outside of the fact that these guys are owned by billionaires, there's no desirable desire to join LAG as a team. There hasn't been by any top fucking player for years.
That's not true.
It doesn't look that way. It doesn't look that way.
I mean,
I can say it's not true.
LAG
but,
is always in talks in the offseason to pick up some of the rosters.
Yeah, because of money.
Exactly.
And that's it. That's what I'm telling you.
They have no pieces. That's the most important thing when it comes to picking up the best players, realistically.
The minute they build a culture, then it makes those conversations way easier, which I think
exactly.
is
that's what I'm saying. They got to do what Boston did.
Yeah.
Create a desirable
location.
Team,
of course. They're a good team.
Create a desirable location with some
they have
cornerstones.
in that camp is horrible. It's horrible.
They made a lot of bad decisions in the CDL. Like the initial roster they signed. No offense to your team, Pat.
No. They can't even be held responsible for that. They came in late. They didn't they weren't. Bro, think about it this way. That initial year. I mean, there wasn't anything to set up. That initial year, 11 teams had already signed players when they got in before they even hired a general manager. I was talking to ownership. There wasn't even a general manager. There was no front office. They came in after 11 teams had already signed players. There was nothing to do. But either way, shit, they should have kept me, cause damn.
Well, I mean,
Well,
dude,
like,
Kept you Slay. You think they
Lord.
should have kept you Slay?
bro, I mean,
Lord, you
Were
see
you
what's
frying or were you getting
happened?
pissed on? Were you frying or getting pissed on, Slay?
I mean, you just seen what's happened. Like, at least I was winning series.
No.
And Pat
Go ahead,
TDL
Ben.
sets are interesting, but I mean, bro, like their history, like that obviously Pat tier, they completely dumped that roster. They put in that Decimate Blast team that really didn't do much. either.
Horrible. Next year,
And then- and
horrible.
then the
Next year,
second year was-
horrible.
I think the second year might have been the most egregious version of what they've done. Because Tom, you remember that you and I, when we found out about that roster, them running it back.
What was the second year? I can't remember.
It was
It was
them
my
running it
World War
back-
II
the
team
World War
with
II team.
Vivid.
With Reese, bro. They were like, it just on paper, you looked at all the other teams being built and they were just circling back with the team. And I was just like, dude, like this team's fucked. And they were fucked. And then last year, I actually kind of low key didn't really troll last year. What they did troll was they never were able to figure out the right combination of players. Pierce had those health issues. And then they brought over Neptune to try and scramble to qualify for champs, and that didn't work out. And then this offseason, I think we all universally agree they shouldn't have ran back the trio, and they did. And so now here we are. Like you have tried to make some kind of championship window. It hasn't worked. They're back to square one with the roster, and that's where you got to go from there. I agree with Chris. You got to bring the academy team. I don't know what this means for Hook, Neptune, and Spart.
I disagree with. I think you got to do more than just that, bro.
Well, where else are they gonna poach players from?
Unless they can get like Dashy and
like
have
I said,
him like.
I think you need to do more than just poach players, bro. I think you need to nuke it top to bottom and just start over.
What are you nuking?
I'm blowing up the front office. I'm blowing up the players. I'm blowing up the coaches.
Shit.
I'm blowing up. I'm blowing up the whole. I'm
managers,
blowing up
coaches,
the challengers. If I'm
The whole
ownership,
thing?
if I'm ownership, bro, I'm cutting it from the top, letting the whole thing sink and starting fresh.
New team name, new rebrand.
Yeah, I'm changing the name, the logo.
Yeah.
I'm coming different.
Nah, I don't
Go
think
ahead,
it's
Ben.
different.
Good, let Ben take the floor.
Listen, bro. I'm not gonna let you disrespect Marky B, bro. I love that guy.
That guy's been there the 6 weeks. What does Marky have to do with anything?
That's what I'm saying. You said blow him up. You said blow him up.
Listen,
why
bro,
you blowing up Mark?
I'm washing my hands with all
Blow
of
up
it,
Mark.
bro.
Don't blow up Mark, bro.
Don't blow up Mark.
Mark didn't do it. He's been there for 6 weeks.
Hey,
He just got there.
I'm doing Mark a favor, bro.
Listen, Alex Rubens has gifted over 100 in this city. He stays.
Okay, Jim, that has nothing to do with it.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, I'm gonna like get to
He's a great guy, very generous.
He's a good guy, but listen, like I think what needs to happen here is their academy team. They're really well in challengers. I'd love to see them get a CDL shot. That might be a short-term try for this team. If it works, it works. If not, then you see. Obviously, you need to figure out what happens to Hook, Neptune, Spark because they may all be riding the pine. Dude, maybe try and get Ender and Bruce into the mix on this.
Wait,
team.
I need
That's
to
definitely
correct
possible.
something, Ben. I need to correct something.
Yeah, 100%. You try to get in there and boost in the mix.
I'm keeping the entire apparel department. Shout out to the guys at the LAG booth in Raleigh for the
Slay, they gave you apparel and you're saying to blow up the whole fucking franchise.
I just told you I'm giving those guys raises and
All right, hold on.
females.
I want to start a different conversation real quick regarding like
They're gonna get the
we're
raise.
talking about
Understand?
like we're talking about like you're blowing up the team, whatever. They started off slow, they made bad off-season moves, whatever. Like, I feel like our esport is like the quickest to jump to like the worst conclusion ever, and I'm curious as to why you guys think that is. Is it because of the format? Like, for example, like there's no time for teams to improve at all because
There's
it's
not a
like
lot of
one bad
spots.
stage or what? Well, there's one bad match or a few bad matches, one bad stage. Everyone's like, oh, blow them up, blow them up. Whereas if you look at Thieves last year, I understand. I guess it's a little different because their roster is like such a crazy roster that you have to assume they turn it around. They were like what, like 0-5. They placed last. Like if you had the same mindset that you have about the rest of the teams, about that team, you would have blew that team up last year. Then they go back to back.
All right, which team?
Wait,
Bro, hold on.
They're not
back to
even.
back
This is not even comparable, bro.
Bro, hold
Wait,
on.
yeah,
well, hold on.
you just argued about one of the most talented rosters in the CDL
Okay,
that had one of the
exactly.
best players on an
Hold
AR
on.
instead of a sub.
asking,
that we've been
like-
roasting them for years,
Okay.
even back into the
All-
pre-CDL days.
My entire point is this. All I'm saying is it's like a few bad matches, one bad stage. Everybody jumps to the biggest conclusion, and they're like, blow the team up. Like it's like it's like there's zero. It's like there's zero time to actually like.
What situation are you talking about here in specific?
No. I compared it to Thieves last year, but I prefaced
that was a
it,
horrible example.
I
Are you
prefaced it by
trying to
saying I
say
guess
this-
it's a little different.
Are you trying to make an analogy to what's going on in OpTic right now? Is that what you're trying to do? Like,
What?
I'm
He's
confused.
talking about LAG. He's talking about LAG.
I asked you
also-
guys a question. Like,
He asked a question
like,
completely irrelevant to all rosters.
but
yeah,
that's not-
I'm saying, like, do you think it's a format thing as to why?
Let me answer this question because you guys are understanding what he's
Chris.
saying.
Go ahead, Chris.
It's more so a game thing. It's because that we're playing a different title every single year, so you don't know what like these players are capable of. So you only have the first couple of months to kind of gauge a team's ceiling, and unless they are a really like vetted roster, for example, like the LA Thieves team, they were also showing signs of life. It's not like they were getting shit on, right? Outside of one stage online. The Thieves last year.
Oh yeah.
Right? They're a vetted.
I predicted them to win Major 1.
Yeah, so did I. Remember, they're a vetted team with
They were
superstars.
the best hardpoint team in the first qualifier.
When you look at other teams, that's just not true. And then when you look at some of these other teams that have, for example, OpTic, we already know what that team's like. They played last year. Same exact fucking team. When you look at teams like LAG, same exact fucking team as last year, minus one player. Like, it's not a game thing at this point where like we think they're gonna turn it around. There's clearly fucking issues, so blow it up. But no one was saying that about Thieves last year. Not even us. We were saying these guys need to figure it the fuck out. They need to make some role swaps. They got to do something because it's getting close to that point. I think you're referring to people that don't know what they're talking about, Zin, because I don't think we've ever been in a position where we look at a team that has potential and we tell them to blow it up immediately.
I mean,
also this is.
hold on. No. Well, I mean,
us,
hold
bro.
on.
It's not like we
Before
dictate
this past
roster
tournament,
changes.
but when Vegas was playing poorly online before Major 1, you guys are sitting here saying it's time to blow it up already. Then they
No,
go
I
to
don't
the
Say
think
land.
you
so.
guys.
Who
Don't
was
say
saying
you
that?
guys, though. Don't say
I
you
never
guys.
said that.
Okay, sorry.
My-
Someone or
my
whatever,
only-
a
my
couple
only
people on the
criticism-
show.
Pat loves saying
Nope.
blow it up. I don't know if he
That's
always
just
takes it
Pat.
seriously though. Like
That's just Pat. My only
Bro,
criticism
Zinni,
of
I don't
that.
know what is good with you right now, but you are on the Charmin Ultra Soft at the moment, bro. I don't know if your roster spot is up for grabs or what, but you need to regain, my brother. Hit the
listen,
bout, get you some
we can
Boston
move on, man.
bagels or whatever you need, but Lord.
Well, listen, I definitely think blow it up has been said on this episode before Major 1. I think I've heard it before Major 1. I can't remember. I think y'all said blow it
It's
up for
Pat,
Seattle.
bro.
Yeah, I think it's Pat. I think Pat
It's
said
just
blow it up for
Pat.
Seattle,
Bro,
and it
you're
got
so
talked too.
crazy. My only blow it ups have ever like right now lately have been the LAG roster.
Okay,
And
well,
I'm
well,
never gonna take that one back.
besides for blow it up, okay, another reason to add to that, Tony, is just the spots in the CDL, right? They're limited. There's only 12 teams. There's not a lot. There's only 48 spots. So there's a lot of talent out there in challengers or on the bench. Like, there's a lot of people out there where if a team isn't doing well, you know, you can say, I'm not going to say blow it up, but you can make changes quick, you know, Tony, because of how many people are on the sideline waiting to come in that are ready to play at all times. So if it's not
Austin's in my
working,
chat dropping some knowledge.
what'd he say?
He said they definitely always say blow it up. It's like they forget we playing with random spawns. Consistent is very hard with random in all caps.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I think
That's
Chris and I-
Random.
I think Chris and I have talked about, especially with
They are
Control,
a lot. There are a lot of random
like-
spawns. Let's not sit here and act like there's not some random spawns. That's a fact. What Austin just said. That's a straight
But
fact.
here's my problem with the questions. In is like we're the wrong audience to direct that question to. It's not like
I
me,
guess.
Chris, Tom, and like Pat like sit here and make the roster changes. You're better off asking this question to like the captains of the teams, the GMs, and the coaches that decide this stuff.
I don't think
we
I've
have
had
our
a single
opinions.
conversation with a player or manager in months.
Also,
What
when it
the
comes
fuck?
also
Tommy, can you move,
random.
Austin?
Also, when we're talking about random, bro, there are teams that look substantially much better than other teams. Clearly, there's some randomness in it, but it doesn't. But it's not like it's ruining
Agreed.
good teams and making worse teams better. Huh?
No, but there's gonna be inconsistencies. I think. At
Of
events.
course, but no one's saying blow it up. No one's saying any of that stuff. When it comes to teams that obviously have potential or are good, we're talking about bottom of the fucking barrel teams
Ladies
because
and
it's
gentlemen.
obvious that they're not gonna make it, and they're not gonna make it far in the fucking league.
Ladies
What?
and gentlemen, we have Austin Thanos Lytical Slasher from Atlanta FaZe's very own joining us today on the flank. World champion Austin, how you doing?
I'm doing good, guys. How
Austin,
you guys doing?
Good,
we're
Austin.
doing all right. Austin, we're doing all right. You know, Austin, what's going on? Because I agree with your take. I will start things off, but I'll let you take the
What
floor
was
here.
his take? So I'm aware.
I just heard some cap in here, bro. You guys were saying blow it up about. Wait, hold on.
We're listening to Zinni talk, huh?
No, you
Who did
were
you say blow it
saying.
up,
Wait,
bro?
you were saying blow it up about the Thieves last year when they were 0-5.
And they
He
did.
was.
They
He
made,
100% was.
Bro, hold
Okay.
on.
No, no, but
Let's,
wait.
The guy that coined the fucking phrase, you can't say you know the definition. They hired a new coach and made the role swap that we've been begging for
bro.
years. That is a
Stop.
blow it up. They
Come
said,
on,
yo,
man.
our situation
Come on,
is
bro.
ass. I got Kenny on an AR. I don't know how it took Cap or Ken that long to realize it.
Okay.
Maybe it took Shane coming in and be like, "Hey, yo, Cap, I don't know what the fuck you doing, but that is the horrible idea." Finally, they instantly improved, and yeah, they got a new coach.
Okay.
They blew it up.
And then you said blow it up about Seattle at the beginning of the weekend. They were one match away from winning the event.
I mean, I still think they should blow it up. They're
Yeah,
gonna
No way. No way.
Bro,
Come on,
bro,
bro.
watch, hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the no. Here's the thing.
He's
They're gonna come
not
into
reasonable.
what's Major 2? Boston. They're gonna come in and get like 12th Major 2.
Well, now their
And then-
team might
and then-
completely
They might
change
now.
now. Yeah, now it might. Now they
same
might.
Same roster, just like they did last year. They got 3rd and then they got 12th the right event after. And I'm like, I told y'all the whole time. You're like, oh, you were right, bro. The team is inconsistent. Yes, I've said it a million times. That team has a high ceiling. They could get 2nd one event.
But
They could get
most
3rd
teams
one event.
are inconsistent.
But-
you see
but-
what we're playing?
Bro, but those
Bro, your
guys
team is
have
not
2
inconsistent.
superstars. Yeah, you've been
Wait,
second
hold on,
every
hold on.
event.
Pause,
well,
pause,
not your
pause.
LAG team,
Did I
obviously.
say every team or most? I
And
said
that's-
some of the-
but
and
hey,
some of
there's
these
been like
teams-
one. There's been like one team that has consistently placed very well.
You're right, Austin.
One.
And guess what? If Seattle Surge blow it up, that'd be 2. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, for
That's
sure,
all I'm
bro.
saying.
Well, let's move on
man,
to
dude.
the London Royal Ravens. Apparently, they're benching Paulehx for Matty Marshall, aka Skrapz, aka Tank. What do you guys think about that? Slayer, we'll start with you.
Doing what for who?
I don't think it's a gameplay thing. I'm not sure what's actually been talked about. but-
Wait, hold on. Can you repeat the change again?
Paulehx no, so they're benching Paulehx. I'm not
Paulehx for
sure why.
Skrapz,
Yeah, I'm
bro.
not sure why, but for Skrapz. Sorry, I'm reaching out the repos because I'm gonna get it in
So
here.
just Skrapz for Paulehx, 1 for 1.
Yep, that's what I'm that's the rumor. That's the rumor.
I mean, I'm happy for Maddie, but like 12th again. I don't know. That team has way more problems than just Paulehx. Like that team sucks on LAN. If COVID fucking spikes again, God forbid, hope it doesn't. Maybe they have a
Fucking toxic,
chance.
dude.
But bro, that team just sucks on LAN.
He's so
Look,
negative,
there's
bro.
nothing, there's
fucking
nothing
toxic,
to say.
dude.
Ben,
Those
what do you
guys
think,
literally
Ben?
fry
Ben, what do you
online,
think, Ben?
go to LAN, and get cooked.
London's a weird team, bro. Like we talked about in the beginning of the year, it's like there's a big talent gap between them and other squads. And I think they're probably still like a change or 2 away, even with this Matty swap, from being their level where they're like very, very competitive on most weekends. You know, I think Asen's playing really good right now. But really disappointing to watch that London team get off to a good start. And they're on like a pretty significant series loss streak at the moment, right? It's got to be like 6 series in a row, I think.
Bro, I feel like everyone's
Yeah.
gassing. Like, bro, there's been one event. This is the quickest we've started the season. I understand that some rosters are stacked with talent, and I agree some rosters on paper, and you think some rosters look better, but like, there's been one event. It's the quickest we've started the season. The game is not
Bro,
very
it
consistent.
was-
like,
it was-
I get-
wait,
bro,
wait, hold on.
I'm
Wait,
not
no
going
one
to
is
disagree with you
arguing
and say
that.
some
I'm
teams.
going to end this conversation right now. There's, I have, and I think Tom as well, I have an idea of what's going on in this London team. I just don't feel comfortable sharing the information that I have about why this change is happening.
Yeah,
I'll be straight up. I'll be straight up
same.
about it.
No,
I don't
I-
want us to beat
I'm
around
just
the bush
saying in
on
general. It's
It's
like you're jumping
personal
to
information.
conclusions.
Bullshit about it. Like
You're jumping to conclusions
stuff,
about
bro.
like all like as if teams are incapable of improving, as if metas aren't going to change, spawns aren't going to change, guns won't
Wait.
change. I don't know.
Wait, I agree with you, Ziddy, but when it comes to two of the teams that are making changes, no one's overreacting. There's just known fucking quantities. Like I said about OpTic. OpTic's team played last year. It's a different game, but they played together last year. We know what the team is capable of, and we know their problems, and we know the fact that they obviously wanted to make a change. So no one's overreacting with them making a change. Same thing with the LAG when we're
Wasn't
saying
talking about that.
Okay, same thing with LAG. When we're saying blowing up, they've had 3 people on their team last year. They were garbage too. So it's no one's making these fucking crazy assumptions, these wow, dude, these guys should change. No one's overreacting, bro. These teams should change. If you can't fucking see that, then you're just blind. Am I wrong?
Yo, I don't know, Chris, if you're wrong or if you're right, but like there is some crazy Charmin Ultrasoft in the community nowadays. Bro, I don't know what changed, but you could have been on talk show A, B, C, D. I didn't give a fuck. And if you told me I sucked or my team to blow it up, I wouldn't give a fucking fuck.
You can't. Yeah. At the end of the day,
I'm seeing pro players in the chat. Yo, these guys are tweaking. It's been a month. The game's not gonna change. The sponsor random, bro. Who cares? If we think you suck, then we think you suck. Don't suck.
That is fair. Listen.
Don't suck.
Why are we caring
That is
that
fair.
4 guys on a podcast are saying that you suck and that you should blow it up?
Why you saying that?
Event.
No,
Why are you
listen,
saying that?
people-
It's not true.
No, I'm
People
saying
need
the
to-
pro
people
players.
need to
I'm not
take the-
saying the community. I'm saying the pro players.
People need to take the pro loot route, bro. I said he sucked and he wasn't playing good in the online league. He went to LAN and which was facts. He was playing bad online. Then he went to LAN and he was godlike. He was frying,
He
bro.
was.
So more
also-
people need to take the
Hey,
pro
hey,
loot
hey,
route.
don't say all
hold on,
4 of y'all
also-
because you said Max sucks, and I do not agree with that.
Also, we thought New York was average. We said Priesta was sucking. Like we said, is Hydra
years.
worth
Did
the
we
roster mania?
Yes, wait, yes,
everybody
bro.
said
There's
it.
no
Yeah,
way you
no,
didn't say he sucked.
Wait,
No,
wait.
we were
all
saying he
said
needed to step
Priesta
it
was
up.
sucking.
Yeah,
You guys just said he should step it up.
before the event.
I don't know if we said
were
Priest
definitely
sucks,
saying
but we
it.
did
We
say
were
we need to
saying-
step it up and be
We
more
said it in the
consistent.
off season and we said it in the qualifiers. We said they were average as fuck and they weren't playing well. And they came out and won the event.
They're motivated by the flank slayer. They're
Bro,
motivated.
listen, and you know why? Because they got the bulldog. They got that dog in
They
them.
got the dog in them. They got P dog. They got 2 dogs. They got P dog and Caseman. They got 2 dogs.
Bro, the other teams don't got that dog in them, Tom. They
Guys,
got the like.
and
What
by
do
the
you
way,
mean? You're
Pat-
tweaking, bro.
Pat,
It's been a week.
let's not act like there weren't roster changes at roster mania after Dallas in World War II, Vegas in Black Ops 4. Like we can even go back to like.
I'm glad there's roster changes,
There's
Ben.
always been a roster mania after.
That
the
means
first
people
event.
are accepting and they're not in denial that they suck. Thank God.
All right, and then let's move on. Then we had some rumors of Diaz Biffle getting offered a spot on a CDL team. What, bro? It's true. He got offered a spot. He declined it.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, no, he actually got offered a spot. Like Hector came in here.
spot,
He's
right?
he's- yeah, Hector.
A sub spot, yes.
I'm
Oh, okay.
guessing when he gave me the team, he doesn't want to leak the team out because he feels like that'll be disrespectful to the team that offered him the spot.
Why?
But I'm guessing it's a sub spot. I'm
Wait,
guessing.
now I gotta do some digging. I gotta know what team it is.
It's a sub spot, bro.
I love Biffle, but like I seemed like he was just like. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not like a respawn grinder right now. This is like not, you know what I mean?
He's not
It's like
grinding
the Optic Maniac
challengers.
situation.
Does he have to? If he already got off their spot, could he potentially
hold
just
on,
keep playing
dude.
Warzone,
I
take the
actually
spot,
would,
take
dude.
the contract, and then if worst comes to worst, if he has to come in, he comes in.
No, honestly,
Sure, but if he's not playing challengers, I feel like that is a waste of fucking like resources for a CDL
To be
team.
fair,
not that I
though.
don't think the guy could
Yeah,
be
no,
good.
that's
To
besides
be
the
fair,
fact that,
though,
yeah.
He needs to be
fair.
playing. He should be playing
but
challengers. If
it
that's
would
the
be
case.
less disrespectful than when Florida had Optic Maniac on their sub spot.
Oh yeah, it's not even comparable.
That was
Bro.
insane.
That was absurd.
That is insane.
Why would he leave Warzone though? Warzone has like.
That's why he declined it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would do it too, bro. Warzone has like weekly $25,000, $100,000 tournaments. You
And he
got
streams
Porter
every day.
You got Porter and Blast winning the Mountain Dew double drop. Like I just saw it on my. If I'm Biffle, I'm staying and running pockets in Warzone for sure.
Oh, did they
Oh, no
win?
doubt about
Did
it.
Porter and Blast? They won that. They won the 2v2.
I think so. It was on my timeline earlier.
And you know, want to know what else they're doing in
They
Warzone,
got
Pat?
second,
You want to know what else they're doing,
no.
Slayer? They're making updates to it. They're making constant updates based on what the community's saying, bro.
I don't know about all that,
No,
but
they
Yeah,
are.
y'all
They,
played the
nah,
new
they
spawns?
are though. They were bitching about loadouts, and now they can get loadouts like really easily. They updated it for them, so they can all
No
get
way.
loadouts.
yo, off
Yeah.
topic, bro.
That's crazy.
They got
gonna
loadouts.
s-
They got all
this,
loadouts.
hey, this
saucy.
might not be a popular opinion, but go back to only loot BRs, bro. What is this loadout? This is just a
Nah, it's
150.
Well, that's what they were
Luke's
complaining
ass,
about.
though. The
Yeah,
Luke's
wait,
ass,
that-
so that's the
Yeah,
problem.
but that's a different problem,
Nah,
bro.
that shit is ass.
Loadouts
Slay, every time you
bro,
land, you
Warzone.
get you RNG, you
Hold
get
on.
terrible loot.
Bro,
Like that shit is ass, bro. That's
I'm not
ass.
talking about Warzone. I'm talking about Battle Royale, bro. H1Z1.
Oh yeah, H1 okay for sure.
Wait, well, that-
That's
thing
so
is,
different, though.
actual
Such a different
OG
game.
Blackout.
Such a different game.
Yeah, such a different
But,
game.
like,
Those games
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Those
Hey,
games didn't have hundreds of attachments.
you know what
and
they were,
stuff.
though?
Yeah.
You know what they
Literally 3
were?
guns.
You know what they were? The king of Battle Royale.
That's true. That's true.
It's a different combo, different era.
But
Wait, the
COD's not
re-
gonna do that with only 3
Yeah,
weapons.
they're not gonna
bro.
do
They
that.
have
They're not gonna
100,
do
Yeah,
that.
like-
but my problem is, and I don't know about you guys, when I play Warzone, it just feels like a 150 player TDM on a big ass map.
And H1 sure
Well,
didn't
yeah,
make
and
as
that's
much money
why-
as fucking Activision did. They sure
and
didn't
that's
make
why
as
a
much
lot of
money as
people like
Warzone
it.
did.
Hey, but it was a lot more fun.
Nah,
That's all I'm
hey,
saying.
I'm
Different
not.
combo,
I'm not
different day.
disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with making battle royales better. But go ahead, Chris.
Wait, that's why a lot of people like it, though. That's what makes Warzone unique. You might not like it, but clearly a lot of people like the original Warzone, and all the people that like that hate the fucking loadouts and stuff like that. Those are the milsim fucking lads and dads, bro.
Bro, I
that
feel like
don't want
gaming-
to.
My bad,
Lads
man.
and dads, I like
Bro,
that.
and, and,
bad,
and the
man.
reason is because all those fucking lads and dads don't have time to grind out weapons for
Wait,
loadouts.
wait. I'm
They would
actually
rather
curious.
they don't want to have to sit there with
I
default
feel like
guns
gaming
and
is just
pick up
different now,
guns.
bro.
No, it is for sure.
It's
But
like,
I am
bro, back
actually
in the
curious.
day-
You guys in the chat can answer too. Did y'all like Blackout or Warzone more? Because I'm genuinely curious.
I like the original
Blackout.
Warzone
'Cause
more than Blackout.
I think if you had the Warzone looting in Blackout would have been a better player experience by a mile. Personally,
Okay. If they had loadouts and stuff like that,
no,
in
not
Blackout,
loadouts, just the looting,
Nah, if they had loadouts in Blackout, I think Blackout would be a lot more fun. But dude, looting is just looting is just not a fun experience. Like in BRs, like after a while,
If they add
that was
more
a
good loot,
blast.
if they add good loot,
If they-
and
if
they
they
add it
add
to
good
more, like they
loot-
have to make the loot better. I mean,
Bro,
they could do that for sure.
That
The
shit is
Blackout map
boring.
didn't have 100 buildings that were 10 stories high either. Like
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
hardly any buildings.
Now,
Like it
you
was mainly
almost
just
fun?
fights.
Yo,
like
yeah,
good
that's
fights.
true. That's true.
you
That's
wanna
that's
know what's
true.
fun,
The
dude?
boys are some goats.
It was like
You know
random
what's funny was
barns and
the-
huts and shit,
Exactly,
like and
so it wasn't
houses.
like
Like you never had to
the
deal with
jetpack,
like fucking
bro.
high rise with like a 30-story building.
Exactly, bro.
Wait,
It was so
BO4
much
didn't
better.
have jetpack in the beginning.
The jetpack, I'm saying the jetpack BR or whatever, the superhero one
That shit was
lit.
fire. I remember
That shit
Formal
was
grinded it.
lit.
Remember Formal on that shit every night? Like that shit was fun.
Now, if
Yeah,
that was
100%.
cross-play, like on PC and stuff, I think it would have blown up.
Also,
anyway, I didn't mean to take you off topic. We can
You're
get
good,
back
you're
to
good.
the
While
rosters
we're on
that are
topic of,
stinking.
hold on, while we're on topic of game changes, because you said Warzone's getting updates. When are the pros coming back to Scrim, or like, are y'all gonna play eights? Y'all
28th.
want to spectate some eights? Because
28th,
nobody's
I think.
talked about this. Nobody's talked about
hear
this
it's
because
bad.
the pros obviously have been on vacation after the major. The spawns are fucked, and they were fucked for the entire Challenger
Well,
tournament.
Here's my
They
thing
are
about it.
really, really broken. Can we get? Yeah, Alec wants to get in here. Alex said, "Get me in there."
All right, sure, he could join, but
No,
here's my
I-
thing about
I-
it. We
I
know.
believe he means 8s.
I already know the
Oh.
spawns are fucked, but what do you want us to do about it? You want me to tweet out?
Oh
What's that
no,
gonna
I'm
do?
saying because you guys have quote unquote channels. Are they
What?
even okay?
What?
Listen, wait, bro,
Yo,
are they
interesting.
even
Austin,
aware?
you got the channel?
I got the channel. I
well,
guess
here's the
that's news
thing.
to me.
Listen, hey, spawns were broken once. They fixed them. You guys remember that when the Pride matches were down and stuff like that? They fixed them. It was literally in
Was
the
it
patch
Infinity
notes.
Ward?
We
Was
fixed
it
them.
Infinity Ward or no?
Yes, Infinity Ward fixed them.
Okay.
They're broken again. We need them fixed. And yes, I know you guys are pros and you guys have your priorities, but the challengers have their elite qualifier very soon after the holidays. And this somebody needs to say something. Otherwise, it's not going to get fixed.
From my sources, I'm pretty sure it's already been brought up in the channel you
I'm
speak
sure it
of, which
has.
is not really a channel that does anything.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, hey, make sure you guys
I mean,
do so.
we can
because
tweet
just
out.
start-
they are
like, I don't know
broken.
what you
I don't think
expect.
there's anything they could do.
Yeah,
to be
they want
honest.
to
Can't
just
do
start
nothing.
learning them, brother.
Yeah,
They're broken.
I
Play
think we should use-
hydroelectric
I
and
think
you will
we
see
should
what I'm
use
talking
tac
about.
insertions.
Our spawns before were broken too.
No, they're worse.
Wait,
They
did
are
he
a lot
are you being
worse.
serious or was that a troll?
No, I don't think
Trolling
we
me,
should.
bro.
I
We're not
don't
using
think we
tac
should use tac
insertions. What are you
insertions.
fucking nuts, Ben? Are you nuts?
Sorry, it's one to chirp back,
Jesus
bro.
Christ. People be putting tac insertions in the water, bro. They'll be putting them in
Nah,
the
it'd be
water
comedy,
somewhere of
dude. Can
you
hydro.
imagine?
Comedy?
That's what people would probably be doing.
Oh,
They'd be
it'd
cheesing
so
them.
comedy, bro.
But other than that, we gone through all the rosters already. We kind of talked about everything. We talked about Seattle, LAG, OpTic, London. There was like a rumor about FaZe, but I think that rumor was straight fugazi.
I mean, we got.
I think he ended up deleting it.
Now.
He ended
so
up
Austin,
deleting.
was the rumors about your team real or fugazi?
I mean, I haven't heard nothing, so I don't know.
But you,
oh,
but
fuck.
you did, but
No
you
way,
did
that's
tweet
not
out
a loop.
but also you did tweet out a mind blown emoji. So
I did.
what was that
He
in
was
reference to?
entertain-
if
he
you
was
don't mind
entertaining.
us
That was
asking?
in reference to OpTic Crim 6 rumor I heard.
No
Oh,
way.
no
No
way.
fucking way. Is Porter coming back? Can you imagine if Porter came back into it? I don't even think he'd be that bad at this game. I think Porter would be good at this game.
Wait, Porter's definitely good enough to be in the league
Yeah,
right now.
he could play right now, 100%.
It's not- yeah.
I just don't see it happening because I don't think Porter and OpTic are like on that, you know, they're on the same page.
Not in
Wait,
this era
dude,
for
could
sure.
you imagine?
That would be
you,
crazy.
Could
That
you
would
like
be
actually
crazy.
imagine that actually happened?
That
This
would
is
be nuts.
Logan Paul in the WWE era, bro. Porter
No,
just
no,
has
but-
to stay in like the attitude era.
The storyline of Porter going back to that team would be unmatched, I think.
I mean, he might make him better. No bullshit.
If I were
What
them,
the
I would,
fuck?
I would instantly turn
Not
the
bad.
fucking POVs on for the
Even
first
even
trolling,
bro,
man,
even
trolling.
even Damon's a good shot in this game. You know what I'm saying? Get some nice early
No,
rotos in,
no,
some nice
Damon would be
credits, some
like-
setups, some nice
no,
L triggers.
Damon would loot. Damon would be like, "What? They spawned there?
Yeah, he would lose. He
What
probably would lose
the
composure.
fuck? I was literally standing on him."
But other
Damon
than
would
that,
lose his head.
we'll keep an eye on Roster Mania moving forward. We'll see if anything else hits the fan, because if it does, we're planning on doing an episode tomorrow. But shit hit the fucking fan, so we just did an emergency flank, which we haven't done.
Yeah, we thought it'd be a slower burn, but today actually got kind of lit.
Yeah, today
And I
got
think-
crazy for
And
sure.
I think, Tom, if something else crazy happens over this week, we'll run an emergency flank. And I think our plan next week is to do a show with the New York boys at some point,
Yeah,
because we had a couple of them come on at the end.
Can we get Crim on for that?
yeah, I'm
Porter?
down. I'm down.
They may not come on if we get Porter on. I think that might.
Why not?
Cause
That was
some
a
scheduling
great interview,
problems.
man. That was a great post-win interview.
That was a
With
good post
Paco?
interview. Yeah, it was.
Bro, I saw people like in my chat a couple of days ago, and like, and some of my YouTube comments. I've seen it on like Reddit and Twitter about people like saying that Paco shouldn't have said anything, and I'm just like, what? Like he absolutely.
people were on his dick,
he
bro.
ra-
Yeah,
Absolutely,
shove it
he
up your
absolutely-
asshole.
People
Yeah,
were
like
on
he
his
absolutely
nuts.
should have cheered Porter like for what Porter said on Twitter, and for all the other bullshit that I'm sure he heard from Porter over the course of like a
It was
year. or
Paul
whatever.
too. It wasn't just Porter. Wasn't it Paul too? It was both of them. Didn't they both go on a flank?
So I don't know what's going on with the Paul situation, because like when some of that stuff surfaced today and yesterday, like his teammates subtweeted a bunch of stuff. So yeah, we've insinuated before, and I think we know some stuff about like there's obviously more to what that old New York situation was in the last team. I implore everybody though to go watch the most recent episode of their docu-series. And Sender and D-Real have some pretty choice quotes in there about like a complete like reboot they did of their team structure in terms of like trust, full transparency, and mindset. So none of that previous BS like happened again, because they've had to deal with that for 3 straight years, and they were tired of it. They got rid of it. And now look at them. They won the first event. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what's going
Question
on
for
with
you
Paul,
guys.
but
Do you think we see one repeat winner this year?
yeah, I think we can see a repeat.
there's 6 events. I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of events. I'm guessing we're gonna see at least one repeat.
I mean, we thought that.
I don't think
last
we're
year
gonna
was the
see.
same thing
I don't
until
think we're gonna see any
LA
teams
team went
win
back to
3.
back.
That would be cool if we see a team win 3. But I don't know if we'll see that.
I'll suck myself off if a team wins
You
3.
heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, write that down.
write it down, folks.
Zinni just said it.
Wait, on God?
In the prophecies. that
Enable
whenever you
Enable
film.
said if who was it? Was it,
It was my
LAG
team.
win the
It was my
tournament?
team. Yep.
Yeah, win the event that he'd suck his own schmeat on
No
stream.
way,
He never
bro.
did it.
No way. No, that was
All
with
I'm saying
LADs.
is,
That was with LADs.
all I'm saying is empty
Nah,
promises,
it was
bro.
Major 2 when we
was
won.
Major
Was it
Yeah,
Major
people-
2?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Empty promises, boys.
Because I remember I tweeted him afterwards. I said, well,
That's
just
fucking
like the
comedy.
just like the $100 I saw me on.
No way.
I don't know what's going on with
Well,
that.
well, listen,
Wait,
guys.
how did Austin win that? Wow.
Well, listen, guys. Make
They
sure to
won,
tune
like,
in, bro.
11 S&Ds in a row. Sorry, Tom. Keep
listen,
doing
Nah,
that.
I
you're
gotta be
good.
the best to ever do it in S&D, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean,
All right.
bro, you jumped the all-time greats winning an event for that camp. You might be number 1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode of The Flank. We'll get right back to it when shit hits the fan. We didn't expect Roster Mania to happen this fast, or maybe some of us did. But we're here, and we're going to be talking about it, and you're going to get all the coverage here live on The Flank, man. If you missed anything, obviously, you can check it out. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites are on. Go to anchor.fm/theflank, or sorry, go to @theflank on Twitter to go check out Gersh, man. He's doing a phenomenal job running socials, so make sure to go show Gersh some motherfucking love, man. Take it easy, take care, brush your hand. We'll see you guys next time on The Flank, man. Good night.